you like the ocean, love you in slow motion. Anything it takes to make you stay. But I can't rely on you. Doesn't matter what I do. You say you need a time, I think you mean a buyout. Cause it's pretty clear you're on your way out. And though I understand it's hard sometimes to make up your mind in these trying times, yeah, I just can't accept you leaving me when I'm overseas with the heart so heavy. Think that I deserve the truth for once, not a guilty tone, cause you're not alone, yeah. You said you wanna come home, but I know you don't. So this time I won't hear it on the phone. If you got something to say to me, then say it to my face. What it's all about, why you're bailing out. Think you owe me an apology. Just say it to my face. You're sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. Say it to my face, you're sorry. And I quit my job for you, even quit some friends for you. Cause you couldn't stand it, me all independent, so you had to have me for yourself. That was when I trusted you, when I could add up 2 and 2. When you promised we'd be together, you, me, forever. Now there's nothing left to lose. And though I understand it's hard sometimes to make up your mind in these trying times, yeah, I just can't accept you leaving me when I'm overseas with the heart so heavy. Think that I deserve the truth for once, not a guilty tone, cause you're not alone, yeah. You said you wanna come home, but I know you don't. So this time I won't hear it on the phone. If you got something to say to me, then say it to my face. What it's all about, why you're bailing out. Think you owe me an apology. Just say it to my face. You're sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. Say it to my face, you're sorry. This time I think I get it. This love was overrated. No more infatuated. And I blame it on you, I blame it on you, yeah. This time I hope you get it. In love you shouldn't fake it, no. I'm old enough to take it. So just say it to me, say it to me. So this time I won't hear it on the phone. If you got something to say to me, then say it to my face. What it's all about, why you're bailing out. Think you owe me an apology. Just say it to my face. You're sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. Say it to my face. You're sorry. So casually keep diving into concrete, so bittersweet, huh? Keep losing sleep while driving in the backseat. What's left of me? Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the low, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark, and maybe just a better kind of bitter, bitter. Lose gravity, I'm swimming in the quicksand. Up to my knees. Keep losing sleep, I'm manic, dream at midnight. So hard to please. Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the low, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark, and maybe just a better kind of bitter, 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 Think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby. Ooh, think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby. Ooh, think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby. Ooh, think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby. What a night, people dancing in slow motion, blurry eyes. But I've had enough, it's time to say goodbye. 3 a.m. as I'm walking home with a smile. Smoky moon, like a shiver, all the shadows fade away. All your streets are empty, lights begin to sway. 4 a.m. as I think, oh, Stockholm love. Sometimes I picture how life had been in Paris or New York or Shanghai. But you know what they say, east or west.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? It's your boy J Red Unfiltered, back with another video. And well, the live stream now I gotta get used to saying that. So Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys have been having a great day. I know that we all probably experience life at different points and different levels, but I hope your day was well. Hope you guys are doing okay. You know what I mean? And just want to say first and foremost, because I see you guys, I just want to say anybody that's watching this, I just want to thank you because you could be doing anything, you could be anywhere, but the truth is you chose to come here and rock it out and hear what what I gotta say, and I love to hear what you guys gotta say. So I just want to encourage you to get involved, let your opinions speak your opinions because I want to hear it. Might drop the link today. But and also if you're feeling generous, just hit the like button, because it helps spread this out. So for the algorithm, and it's just yeah, I'm just grateful that you guys are there though. So first and foremost, I want to start this off by framing this conversation, right? And this conversation that I want to have is the black community worth saving? Can the black community be saved? That's what I want to talk about because at the end of the day, that's that's a real discussion. You know what I mean? Like that's a real point that we have to deal with that we have to face in the black community is that is it is it really worth it? Is it really worth it? Because sorry about that. I'm sending out the link. Might have some guests. Um, but think about it. So I've said consistently on this platform that I believe that black culture is trash. I don't just say black culture is trash just to rag on black culture. I don't say black culture is trash because I hate black people. I don't say black culture is trash because I don't want to be black. No, I say black culture is trash because black culture seems to or seems to be the only culture that really that really hold on y'all what's going on, we got my boy Aaron in the back. I'm gonna let you up in a minute though, but I'm in a second. But basically I say black culture is trash not because I want to rag on it, but because our culture seems to be the only culture where you find that they champion and celebrate the things that are destructive and negative while at the same time openly rebuking and fighting against those that can possibly mean well for the community or those that do well. And I think that it's a it's a point that we really have to look at. Now, most people, instead of just going and dealing with that point, they like to say, well, that only represents a certain part of the community. But we have to really think about it. Like, we have to think about it. What I've said before is that the black community seems to celebrate the things that are the worst for it. You know what I mean? So when you have a culture that's already basically giving itself away to its vices and the things that are the worst aspect of it, how can you save that? How can you save that? Now, I'm gonna bring up my boy Aaron. Hold on. What's going
Wagwan,
on?
wagwan.
What's going on? You there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right, what's going on, man?
Man, I can't call it, brother. How you doing today?
Man, chilling, man. Appreciate you for stopping through, man. I guess you could, go ahead and introduce yourself or whatever to the people. I guess if you
Again,
want to.
yeah. Hey, everyone. Again, I apologize. I got the black screen today, but I'm a little bit indisposed right now, moving and grooving. Working man.
Yeah. No, 100%. I understand, man. I appreciate you for stopping through though, for real.
Absolutely. I thank you for having me, brother. Anytime I can jump on your platform, it's a privilege. So I appreciate it.
I mean, like real talk. That's real.
Love, right on.
Facts. So basically, I guess where I'm gonna start
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah. If I may put me because I'm coming in, kind of late in the game, but definitely, yeah. Tell me what we tackling today.
okay. So basically, we're talking about is the black community worth saving? And just so y'all know, a little bit later, I'm gonna drop this link in case any of y'all want to join this conversation too. But so we're gonna see how that's
Okay.
gonna work, guys. But
Right, right, right.
yeah, but basically, I wanna know, is the black community worth saving? It's
Okay.
a you got like an
Just kind of
echo.
start there.
Yeah, you got like an echo going on or something though.
Oh, I apologize. Can you how I sound now?
No, it went away. It went away. 100%.
Perfect, perfect. Okay.
uh,
I apologize. But no, all right. So, just kind of tackling today's, topic. Is the black community worth saving? Let's break it down. Obviously, let's start there. Honestly speaking, from where I'm at, I have to say yeah, because as a member of the black community, yeah, I think I'm worth saving. Like just on the surface level. But now, do I agree where we run into individuals of our membership based off of their skin color? Are they are they worth saving? Maybe not so much.
but okay, so let me play devil's advocate to here. Okay, so
Yes,
let's
sir.
switch back. So why? So because like I'll tell you my position, right? I'll just let you know so everybody, so everybody knows, and so just good faith consensus, right?
Okay.
I'm I believe in divesting from black culture. And when I say that, I'm saying that because like you heard me say probably, I think the culture is trash, right? And when I say the culture is trash, I always have to distinguish that I don't actually mean that I think that every single person within the black community is trash, or I think that everything about the black community is trash. You know what
Right,
I mean?
right. Fair.
But
Fair.
I think that the aspects of it are generally destructive
Yes.
and things
Yes.
about it. So in general, yes, are there exceptions? Of course. You know what I'm
There's
saying?
always exceptions
Right.
to the rule.
Exactly. So yeah, I think people like when we look at it like am I worth saving? You know what I mean? I just want to say that do you think that it's possible or that it's in
Okay.
the realm of possibility that maybe it's possible to separate ourselves from the label of black community or the label of blackness? Because I know for me personally, like I don't
I
have
I see where yep, I
yeah,
see where you're going.
you know what I mean? Because it's like if I were to describe myself, I would describe myself as a lot of things, and being black wouldn't even be top 10. You know what I mean?
I got and thank you. And what I would say, if I may jump in
Mm-hmm.
real quick,
Go ahead.
is at that particular point, you have me all day because that is where I want us as the said, quotation marks. I wish my camera was on so I could, but the said quotation marks black community. I wish we did more of. We we are one of the, if not only, communities that have to constantly remind you that we belong to the said community. Does that make sense? You see what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's necessary anymore. And that's why I'm saying I agree with you. I don't think it should be where I'm saying I belong, because also, and this is why I say I agree with you a lot more than I think I articulate, uh is the fact that I personally, I no longer have any desire to be a part of the community that we're attacking on a regular basis. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Whether you call it the black community, black culture or not, I'm simply just saying, name wise or not, I don't even want to be a part of that. Versus it being the reality of me even acknowledging, you see what I'm saying, that this is a part of the community that, I was born into.
Right.
Does that make sense? I don't want to ramble. I'm just trying to say,
Right.
ultimately I agree with you, and that's why I'm saying what where I'm saying is that because I know I'm black, I can't take that off of me, right? Like I'm gonna be black tomorrow, I'm gonna be black the day after that, and and pretty much every other day, following. So while I can't change the fact that I'm black, the only thing I can change is who I am and what I'm, putting is the situation of, where I do that correctly.
Right. Nah. Oh. Oh snap.
I'm
Okay.
sorry if I lost you.
Nah. Nah. You good? Okay. Okay, guys. We're gonna drop this link and we're gonna see how this goes.
My bad. I had got a little phone call. We
Oh,
about to
bet.
get some more people in.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, yeah. We're about to see
Okay.
how this goes.
Okay. Okay. I'm down. I'm ready.
uh, uh, let's see. um, but nah, and yeah, that's kind of like my position with it because I feel like when we looking at the community in itself, it's like I'll tell you where this stem from first and
Yes,
foremost.
sir.
Where it stemmed from is because there was somebody on here who basically expressed that they believe that their blackness outweighed morality. You know what I mean?
What?
Uh, yeah,
Yeah. How does that
exactly.
even work? Yeah. Like what? What?
All right. We got Maika joining, so we finna let them up. All right. Maika, just you don't gotta turn your camera on though, so I guess just stay black. Just stay black, and then we'll I'll let you up.
I would turn my camera on y'all, but I'm being bad. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not. It's all good. It's all good.
I got y'all. I just pulled up. I need a few minutes, and then y'all got all of my attention.
All right, bet. All right, you up here, Maika? So I guess you can talk whenever we get a chance. But
Can you hear me?
yes, yes. What's going on? What's going on? Uh, but
I can't hear him no more.
yeah, just to basically just piggyback where you were saying, because that's the thing is, or what I was saying was the guy basically was saying that his morality or his blackness trump morality, and his morality stemmed from his blackness, and that's and basically I was doing a show, and the show I was doing was basically used to demonstrate how black culture will celebrate the worst kind of people and the worst kind of things, and that's one of the
Absolutely.
main reasons what I use to justify my position saying that black culture is
Black
trash.
culture is trash, right? I
Right,
follow.
exactly.
I'm here.
Yeah, so and it's like and this and just seeing how and this person, and I just use this person specifically as just an example because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that follow that belief, and they will sit there and they will champion and celebrate the worst kind of people despite the fact that those people are just really just negative, grimy people. You know what I mean? They're just negative people that don't mean well for the community, but yet and still they'll champion and support them because they're black. And I feel like that in itself is a testament to a culture that is trash. So when I say things like they only want it's basically like the culture almost fights you so it can destroy itself. And so it's like if it
Of
wants to
course.
destroy itself, is it even worth saving? Yeah, I can chime in whenever.
No, I was trying to yeah wait for bro to try me not that you added.
Oh yeah, he's still muted. He's still muted, so I guess you can go ahead.
Well, and just to be brief, to kind of piggybacking off of what you said. No, I agree. My thing with it is
Why
kind
is
of similar.
hold on?
My fault. Go ahead.
You there, Maika? Uh,
I can't hear him no more, bro.
let's go to these comments real quick.
Okay.
Uh, Robert Oliver says you cannot save a drowning sailor who don't want to be saved. That's true.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
He said Robert Oliver's dope too. He's been showing up and showing out. Robert Oliver says save future black generations from present black culture. Yeah, I agree. That's the only
Yes,
way.
yes,
That's the only way to
yes,
save the culture. If
yes,
we're being honest.
yes. It take like I said the last time we talked, bro. It takes these conversations to because if we don't say something, and like I said, I know you're not a parent yourself right now, but it's gonna
Okay,
take
there we
something.
go.
Yep.
Okay, bet. You
I got my camera, my mic fixed. There we go.
okay. Aaron, you can go ahead and finish, and then Maika, you can go after that.
Oh yes, sir. I was just simply trying to say that I agree with you. I feel like it's a matter of things.
Uh-oh. Oh, where you go? Hello? No, you there?
I'm sorry.
No, you good.
Yeah. So I was just saying I agree. And that I'm sorry. Yeah, that was a little hiccup, but y'all go ahead.
Okay. Maika, you want to go? And Robert Oliver says, and he or she had no moral standards, even by Christian standards and by ancient Egyptian standards. That's true. Like Eric, you should have been there, bro. Like it was crazy. It was crazy. This guy,
Huh.
yeah, this
What the
guy was
hell?
interesting. He just yeah. But go
This
ahead,
is a
Maika.
weird app. Because when I mute, it mutes the entire thing. But can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
So I was saying before, in terms of saving anything, no one's gonna like that solution. I was saying that earlier today, where the actual solution is going to be top down. It's going to be brutal, but it's going to be order, structure, organization. That's what it's going to be. And everyone's going to be like, oh, you too harsh, or this is too much. It's like, okay, what do you want?
Right,
You want to survive to the next century, or do you want to be assimilated into what America's going to become? It's like, take your choice. And me personally, they want to get absorbed into the wider American culture. They want to get absorbed into the wider American population. Fine and well. There's plenty of people groups, cultural groups, ethnic groups that got assimilated into a culture that conquered them to a couple of 100 years ago.
right,
It's normal history. So me, I'm looking at it like, look, you want to become another footnote in history, another statistic? Be my guest. Just don't complain 50 years from now when it's like, oh, what happened? Why is it dying? Why is it blah? It's like, no, these people didn't want order. They didn't want structure. They didn't want organization. Allow them to become a footnote in history.
hold on for a second, Maika. Aaron,
Oh, go ahead.
you got YouTube playing or something?
I'm trying to
I
turn.
think so.
Yeah, I'm trying to mute myself. I'm sorry if I'm. Hold
Yeah,
on. I think
I
I got.
think that's what it is. That's probably it's probably like if you playing like the YouTube video, then it's
No,
probably like creating a
I'm.
loop or something.
Yeah. I'm only playing it off my phone, but here, hold on. Let me see something.
Okay. My bad, Mike. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Am I echoing?
No, it was. No, it wasn't you.
Cool. But yeah, me, I'm looking at it like if they want to become a piece to read in history in like 21, 23, or something like that,
Right.
by all means let them, because everyone keeps saying, oh, you could still save it. I'm like, what is there to save? If you want to talk about some tiny black small town in the middle of wherever in America we're talking about, and it's this one tiny black town, and these few sparse pockets of we don't practice this type of degeneracy, that's not worth saving. I'm
Right.
sorry. It's not enough of it. It's like when idiots come to me and they're like, oh, it's like those blacktivists that you come across, and they're like, oh, you couldn't find a good black woman. It's like, no, they exist. It's just not too goddamn many of them
Right.
if you looking to get married. That's the simple fact. It ain't too many of them. And that's the same thing with so called black culture. It's not too much to save. So why waste your time? They don't want order. They don't want structure. They don't want to follow rigorous, organization.
Right. Yeah.
Let them.
No, I mean, yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think that a lot of the things that we would have to do if we really did institute like some real order in the black community, a lot of people just wouldn't like it. And sorry about that. Excuse me. But I think that I mean, you know, like, you know, what I mean, it's like I think you have valid points, like very valid points, and I think that when we look at the community as we have it, it's not much worth saving. It's not. So
It
I mean,
isn't.
you know,
They want us to focus on these tiny, small pockets. Oh, we still have some jazz. It's like, congratulations, the five black towns in America that hold to actual black culture. Congratulations. You're literally the tiny percentile that people say we should focus all our energy on. No. I've had stocks. I've ran an extremely good business. The one thing
mm,
I can say from that experience, you never funnel everything that you're making into one avenue.
right,
Yeah, the
Rich
smallest
people,
percentile as far as that. But that's business wise. We're not talking about business. We're talking
no, I
about humanity.
no, I understand we're not talking about business, but I learned humans are also kind of similar in that way. You don't hire one
Fair. No,
employee.
no, no. Again, fair again. In the point of having the mindset of understanding that you have to govern a set of people. But
Yeah,
again, we're talking about people. And while I agree with both of y'all up until a point, and I think the point is here in the simple fact that like I'm not beyond the point of even to the degree of what you're saying, if it is that small percentile that's still existing, yeah, they are that much more worth it to say, yeah, congratulations and thank you for being a part of the actual culture versus what the matrix is trying to pump through, your veins. Like we do have to support. That's what I was saying on your last stream. So I'm definitely not gonna, try to change my tone now because it's a new stream and this is my first time talking to bros and salute to you. I apologize. I didn't get a proper opportunity to greet you, but so hello, how you doing, type shit, right? But no, I do got to give you feedback. too. So yeah, no, yeah, I agree with you, but I really think that no, we don't want to lose the sight of the fact that those same individuals that we're speaking on are old the reality that yeah, like we still have to be because that's my biggest thing. Like we can't be the people and the individuals that are in that small group have this power, have this understanding, have this wherewithal, for lack of a better term, I would say, in my opinion, of how we are supposed to move and not, share it with, our neighbors. So, but I do agree with you. Like I said, if our neighbor then chooses not to, take the information we're given, that's a whole nother, situation. But I just want to make it kind of still relevant to the fact that like yeah like we gotta love on our neighbor.
Yeah, I no, I actually I think you're right. I think you're right, but I think if we really being honest, right? Like
Yes
okay,
sir.
like let's just be for real, right? Because like we we went to school together, so we kind of like know the same like the general culture of how it
Yes sir.
was. So like when people were coming to when people were coming to the school, you know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna dox us, because people on the internet crazy. But
Right.
when people were coming to the school trying to like impart wisdom and knowledge, how many people would you say percentage wise were actually willing and open to receiving that information at the time that it was given to them?
Maybe all jokes aside, percentage wise,
Yeah,
I'd say maybe a small 25%
and
out
so
of 100 students. Like 25 out of your 100 students in any capacity would be yeah, who I would say walked away actually giving a fuck.
right. And I think that I would say somewhere around there too, right? So
Right.
to your point, those 25, that 25%,
Yes sir.
embrace them, right? But it's like for the set for the 75, it's like is it the question, I guess the question I'm posing is it worth it
Okay.
to destroy yourself trying to save that 75 too? Because when people come, like I always say this, Noah's Ark wasn't meant for everybody. But the
No,
point
no,
of
yeah, and that's
right, but
fair. No, yeah,
the point
100%.
of Noah's Ark is to save. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
that's what I mean. It's like get on while you can. It's like get
Well,
on, get
well,
away.
well. I think really, you have to you even with your point that you're making now with Noah's Ark, right? Is it really that Noah's Ark was to save or was it to recreate? You see what I'm saying? Because it was a
Yeah,
whole
fair,
method behind that madness,
right,
and it was in the sense that it got one male, one female, of each. You see what I'm saying?
right.
So it's like
Hmm.
that was more of like, but
Well,
and that's
you
just
caught
that
me.
analogy and that
you,
specific point. I'm sorry to
you
be
caught me.
that literal.
You caught
Yeah,
me.
Well,
I'm
no,
sorry to be that literal.
I,
Yeah.
I don't know your name, but I do agree with your point earlier, where we should embrace those that do the right thing, that actually align with the actual black culture. Like I agree with
Right,
that point.
right,
We
right.
shouldn't
What we
turn them
really are trying
away.
to embrace. Right.
But the one thing I would say also, we should not.
Yes, sir.
I just don't believe in wasting our energy on that 75%. Like that's my thing.
No, and we're in total agreement there. We're in total agreement there. That's why I said it when he said it. I say it again when you're saying it. And to answer your other point, my name is Aaron. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, no,
Well,
I totally no. I agree that we. And that's what I'm trying to tell anyone and all viewers and everybody who's participating in this, collective discussion. First of all, I love all you all. Second of all, yes, no, do not waste your time in an effort to where it's detrimental to your time in, a vein of trying to, said show somebody something else, but other than, letting them take it for advantage for, of it for themselves. So I totally get you there, but I was just simply saying, that. So
Yeah, and that's why I was saying before in terms of like business investing, those are the lessons I learned. You don't put your energy, you don't put your resources into endeavors that they're just not going to pan out. Like me, there were plenty of people that came to me with business ideas and you can do this to help people up because you know they struggling and I'm looking like, okay, do they meet my qualifications to hire them?
Right.
Do they meet my qualifications with business? And I think that is one factor that's lacking with Black Americans as a whole. There's no barrier to entry. There's no qualifications for, okay, okay, I'll help you out. I'll work with you. It's just all this, oh, free love, free generosity because people are struggling. It's like, I didn't receive that. And the last I checked, people that receive that don't necessarily go and become successful. You got what, maybe one person that'll take whatever assistance they got and actually do something with it. While, like you guys are saying, the other 75%, they gonna take all that assistance and, well, what do we see with black celebrities? Buy cars, buy houses. They're not doing anything with it.
Right, they're gonna do the
Every,
same shit they've been doing,
exactly.
expecting a different result.
Every time I see one of these dudes, I'm like, you getting all that money, and I'm not saying you need to so-called go pour back into your so-called people, but you ain't starting no businesses for that money, bro. I was getting less than that, and I was paying people $80 an hour in 3 different countries. Like, you
No, I
crazy,
got you.
dude.
You're in a space and you're in a realm of discussing things that you know, like I know. Unfortunately, they just don't make no motherfucking sense
You don't.
at all.
You don't.
Yeah.
It just
Not at
don't.
all.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That just don't make no sense. But I agree with you. That's a sad reality about our black culture that I will say falls on us because one thing we have yet to be able to brag on is how well we take care of ourselves. We do not take care of our own. We are not and I'm just speaking as far as from what I observe as the American black culture, right? Like I'm still staying on topic here in the sense that this the black it we thrive on our downfalls. Oh, you'll see us all rally behind somebody needing to be canceled or burned to the ground for whatever they did, right? But we don't rally behind our heroes the way we need to. It just doesn't happen.
But the
And
other
that's
thing
that's
we got,
that's why we have a situation where we're all sitting here gathered behind a podcast because we all agree that black culture is trash. We
but the other
because we
thing we got
don't
to look
we
at.
don't present we don't present anything that's not.
Right.
Argue with
That,
it. Like that's what I'm here for. Argue with it. Tell me it's not. Tell me black culture is not trash by presenting to me any fucking argument that would support us not, agreeing with this statement.
well, the
Cause
other
all the
thing I would say,
actions, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, bro.
the other thing I would say, we don't have many actual heroes. I mean, you always got that one dude. Yeah, I'm still in these streets. I'm still amongst the people, and I'm looking at this man's like, you could have done so much better had you used your brain a little more and said, instead of throwing all my time and resources into this, let me go create a business and give these people jobs. None of
Right.
them ever do that. So when
No.
you have the heroes, the smart ones, they do what I do. They do what I said, but they realize, wait a minute, why would I store my production in this area when I could go to like the Appalachians or some other area, get much better employees, right? And better production. It's just like, even even that idea, unless you're some mega corporation or something, even that idea, it's just not good business sense. You're not going to go and employ a bunch of people who, I mean, even with the job thing, like I thought about that when I was about like what, 26, 27. I'm thinking, yeah, it'll be great to like create some factory or something and then put it in black areas. And then I'm looking at the future of who's going to be in these factories. I'm like, wait a minute,
Right.
that's not a good idea at all. Because you do that, what do you got? People gonna be stealing from it. People gonna be protesting. There's probably gonna be sabotage here and there because after a while, it's like you're just pouring your resources down the drain. And that's why I truly think for the ones that could have became heroes, what are they going to be attracted to? Like, yeah, there are black industrialists. They exist, but guess what they're doing? They're taking their industrial production to where they know it's going to be a lot more profitable. And unfortunately, that ain't among most black areas. It just isn't.
Yeah. No, that's facts. It's a sad reality, but it's a reality at that.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think that kind of goes into my point. Like when I say it's like it's kind of like how like earlier, Mike, you were here earlier, right? So you remember how we were talking about the after school programs and all that kind of stuff, and how I was basically saying that,
yeah,
if we had after school programs that actually encourage people to do things that are productive in society that can actually earn them money, right? Like I use the example of like robotics, right? And so
hmm,
if we had more things that were gearing people, towards fun but productive things like debate club. You don't really see debate club in public school like that. You know what I mean?
no,
Like things that actually are stimulating the brain but still fun and attractive. And you can't start those types of things because the majority aren't gonna do it. So it's like if you do start it, it's like a waste of investment. You know what I mean? So
pretty much.
that's it's kind of like what, again, just to get back to the original topic, it's like how could you help a people that just don't want to help themselves? Because if people really wanted to do stuff, then they really could rally together and do it. But instead, they rather spend time protesting, trying to get diversity and equity and all that kind of stuff included in schools versus doing so. Basically, they rather waste time trying to change a system. You know what I mean? What trying to change a system versus actually doing and encouraging things that would actually help generate economic wealth and prosperity in the black community. If there were more
Instead of
people,
trying to change the system, why don't you
yeah,
play the game?
exactly. And if more people were learning to play the game, like, can you imagine what our life would be like, or where we be like in life? You know what I'm saying? Like talking to you, Aaron. Can you imagine where our life would be like if we had people that were encouraging STEM the way that they are now? You know what I mean?
Come
And
on, man.
like that's what I'm saying. It's like
We
that
would be so much better. Yeah, but go ahead.
exactly.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. But it's because of the environment and the culture, you know what I mean, that it's like that opportunity. It's like people don't even see outside of their sandbox, and that's kind of, it's kind of sad to say, but that's what I kind of think
I
people's
can I
blindness
say
is. Go ahead.
can I just jump in real quick?
Mm-hmm.
I would just say real quickly. Um and I'm not trying to like really spark, a fire here, but I'm gonna have to ask you to think about adding this as far as when you add, your explanation that there is of, why black culture. The thing that bothers me the most about black culture is what you're kind of speaking towards in the sense that we don't champion knowledge anymore. Like it's almost like
That's
we're
true.
back in those, you know, I hate to say it for lack of a better term, but those slave kind of like
Oh,
mindsets
you
to
talking about
where
that Jim Crow era?
yeah, like, but it's
But
almost
instead
in a
of
sense
white
to where
people,
we
it's the
frown
own
upon
people.
the individual who is striving to just be themselves, striving to just, pursue, whatever avenue it is, or caveat, what, just in general, but it has to meet one criteria, and that criteria is that it goes against the norm. If I'm not picking up the tool and I'm not, acting like I'm from, I hate to just, disrespect the beautiful city of Chicago, but I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to use y'all for example. But if I'm not acting like I'm from there, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just not it, we don't celebrate anything else. It's trash. We champion the
Man,
people that do the shit the wrong way. And those who are trying to go above, you know, their means are scrutinized. It bothers me. It pisses me off.
well, it's not just that they're scrutinized, but I would even go further than that because this is something I said years ago. It had to be like 2017. I was in one of those, like 2017. That's when all this BLM, SJW type of politics
Right,
started
yeah.
Yeah.
Ground
shooting
zero.
off.
Ground zero. That's when
Uh
it
huh.
all popped off.
Yeah. So I was in one of these like black excellence meetings, and they're talking about, yeah, the system this, the system that. And I simply said, okay, instead of talking about, which I agree, America is very fucked up, instead of talking about that, why don't we actually address the real crux of why these situations exist? These horrible parents. And they're like, what? I said, yeah. It's not that this environment is bad because of America. America created the environment, but these parents are the ones continuing it. They don't care about their kids. No parent that actually cares about their child would just sit and let the environment raise their child. Like they're not sacrificing every dollar to make sure this kid can do something different. They're not doing any of this. They're sitting at home on and they're like, no, you don't understand the struggle, blah blah blah. I'm like, I came from it. I saw it myself. These people let their kids rot, literally let them rot in the house. Oh, I did the best I could. You didn't do anything. You didn't try to go for college. Like, I've seen so many immigrant families come and fail horribly, horribly to this country to make a better future for their kids. And despite those many failures, some still claw their way through the system to get that done. And I come back to Black Americans and I see what that is happening to these boys and girls. Like, I'm laughing every time that these people are talking about, oh,
Oh, you muted yourself, Maika. Uh, while they get that figured out, I'm gonna read these comments. Robert Oliver says, "B. Fry was too black for ancient Egypt." Yeah, that guy was out there. I don't know what is wrong with that guy. Hey man, Aaron, watch the stream I did. Oh man, well if you ever get a chance, I would send you a link to this stream, bro. This guy was too
Okay.
much. But let's see, he was too much. Um, I don't know what happened to Maika, but maybe he'll join back. Isabella Rivera with the thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching too. Like I always say, you guys could be anywhere doing anything, but you chose to like come stop through, and I appreciate you for that.
We sure do.
Yes, like seriously, sincerely. I got my boy Aaron here, and basically we're having a discussion on whether the black culture is worth saving. And just to catch you guys up, in case you're not familiar with my position is I believe that the black culture is trash. And I believe that the black culture is trash because it champions and celebrates people, the worst kinds of people, while rebuking the people that, or you know what I mean, the people that actually want to do well in the community.
Hmm.
The culture fights to destroy itself, and then if we're really being honest, the culture hates itself because what kind of
Yeah,
culture like
the
would
culture promotes self hate.
yeah, exactly.
That's part of it.
Exactly. And so you know what I mean? So and then you like when you look at where we stand as American blacks, because that's what I'm talking about. I'm an American,
Hmm.
so I'm specifically speaking about American blacks. I'm not talking about the entire black diaspora. I'm talking about American blacks when I say these things specifically. But this culture celebrates the worst, and it basically hates itself. It hates itself. It hates itself. It's low ranking. When I say low ranking, I mean like when you look at the position, do like okay, I'll use this as an example, right? Do you guys know that the median income, there's a median income in the United States, right? The median income is not the same for blacks as it is for other races. It's lower. It's substantially lower. That means that we're at the bottom of the barrel. And the only way to get out of the bottom of the barrel is to actually acknowledge the things that we do wrong. So people like, as much as it might hurt people's feelings to know or hear somebody saying that their culture is trash, I need for you as like for you as people that don't agree or detractors, I need for you to understand that you have to separate yourself from your skin color. And that's just I don't like telling people what they need to do, but
It's fair. It's
yeah,
fair. That's just fair. It's just fair to say, and you're not telling anybody really what to do. Versus you're challenging the individual who's listening to stop for a second and just think about it. If you take the race out of half the situations you complain about, they're they're non-racial. Like, it's just life. Life sucks. Wake up call. Life sucks. People suck. And there are nasty human beings, both white, black, purple, red, green, yellow. But you just got to be a good person. That's what it's about. And I'm sorry. I'll let you proceed, gang.
no, you good. Uh, you there, Micah?
Hear me?
Yeah, yep, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, my phone glitched a little bit.
Oh, that's all good,
But
man.
yeah, I was saying earlier that the real reality is these parents don't care for these kids. You can tell they don't.
That's
It's
true.
just like what parent is going to essentially create that that much of a detriment for their own child? What parent will do that? And the greatest thing that shows this is the difference with immigrants coming to this country and Black Americans. Immigrants come to this country literally in poverty. Literally, most of the time they show up in poverty. They have less than $12,000 within that year. Less, thousands, millions every year. Show up, try to play the game, fail. Millions. They still continue to do it because they know what actual oppression and inequality looks like.
That's
So
facts.
they say, screw it. We're going to, we're either going to claw or get scrubbed into the ground. And a lot of them do. Like, there are a lot of immigrant families that get scrubbed into the ground. But for the ones that do have their kids in a better position than they do, what do you see? Those kids are set for the rest of their lives and their
That's
generations are.
facts.
Black Americans have no excuse. Like all this, oh, you don't understand history. That history was 30 years ago at best. We're talking the least amount of time. 30 years ago at best. 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Least amount of time. There's no excuses. Oh, you don't understand how hard it was, or blah blah blah. No. The simple reality is you decided this is enough. This is all I'm going to do for what I think this kid needs. And that's it. The difference is some people will at least admit that. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't do this. I'm sorry, I didn't do that. And then others will take it to their grave of, well, you don't understand the sacrifices. Okay, that is your child. Yes, everything you have is supposed to go to their betterment. But this is what shows these people don't actually care for their kid. They're just taking care of the kid because, oh, that's what they're supposed to do. They're not actually interested in making sure that that child has everything they need to continue to have better than they did, or at least start off at a comparable. No. When it comes to black Americans, you don't see that. And that's what I think the honest problem is. These parents don't actually care for their kids. Because if they did, we would see a lot more of them in college or a lot more of them with skills at 18 rather than not. That's what I really think. That's what I really think the problem is.
Yeah. I mean,
Agreed. As far as the parents not caring enough about children, they got to do better.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think that that's demonstrated in a lack of a sense of duty that we have as a community. You know what I mean? And like when I say that, I mean like we can even we can even look at that just from like a familiar, like a family structure wise. You know what I mean? Like people just don't have that sense of duty that they used to have to legacy and the actual betterment of the family. You know what I mean? It's too easy and it's too much incentives for people to just just walk away
Film
from
bullshit.
you know what I mean?
Bullshit is that's no. You're speaking on it. Speak on it. Bullshit is rewarded now, and
facts.
yeah, that's just what it is.
Yeah, and that's the thing because it's like you know what I mean? Like for instance, like because people love to bring this up on this is a hot topic on the internet. How it or a great talking point on the internet, basically where they talk about how easy or how women are rewarded for divorcing their husbands now in America. You know what I mean? How it's basically like they're rewarded for
Hmm.
walking away from their families, and that's part of the reason why a lot of people believe that there is that the divorce rates are so high, particularly like in the black community. But you know what I'm saying? But in general, like in American culture, our divorce rates are really high compared to other countries. I think it's like 70%
Yeah,
or
because there
something
are a
like
lot
that.
of incentives behind
Right.
separation of a normal structural household.
Right. Exactly. And to be
They
honest,
incentivize the abnormal versus the norm.
right. Exactly. And you know what the crazy part is? The crazy part is that that family structure that they're trying to incentivize and that the community is allowing them to incentivize them away from, that same community is literally or that same structure is literally one of the only keys that we have to actually saving the black community.
Yep.
That's the truth because without a family structure, we don't have anything. Like the way I look at it, there are pillars or a foundation of culture, right?
Okay.
And that foundation of culture would start at the home. It starts with the home. That's where you get your conviction, your moral compass, your value, like a lot of your core values, the what you like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of what makes you you is developed at home based off of how you're raised. So that's one of the things that I've said. I've noticed that I've said before, I've noticed that there's a different conviction that comes from people that come from two-parent stable homes, stable two-parent homes versus people that come from single parents versus people that come from, unstable two-parent homes to unstable, just unstable homes in general. So I've noticed that there's a difference just in what and how they carry themselves, how they behave, what they do, the activities that they're involved in, all those types of things. And it's like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. But yeah, and I've noticed that there's a different conviction between them, and I just think that we just see it too much. We just see it too much, and I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping. But I'm gonna read these comments real quick. Isabel Rivera, thanks for stopping through the stream. Isabel says, I think the Fannie Willis trial educated women into listening to the question before answering and venting out cultural frustrations. Um, I don't think they learned anything. If being honest, you're right. They should have learned that, but mm, I don't know. I don't think they got the message. I don't think they got the message. Isabel says, I think we should stop celebrating baby showers for non-committed relationships. What are we really celebrating? A fatherless baby? Let's stop encouraging it. And yeah, and I think that goes into another one of my points that I want to talk about is just us encouraging. I hate to say it, but just negative behavior. That's really what it boils down to. You know what I mean? Because I'm not saying that I'm not like I'm not saying that things don't happen. Things happen, but it's just you don't think that it's like people. You don't think that it's a little wild to be encouraging it or celebrating it. There's a difference between something happening, you know what I mean, and then it's like okay, that's your life and you doing what you got to do. But there is another thing to celebrate and encourage it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like similar to it's similar in concept, but not the same thing. I know, but to how people have divorce parties now. You know what I mean? And that's kind of crazy to me. But before I get to random, Maika, you got any thoughts or anything else? Hello, you there? No. Maika, you there? Uh, well, I'll just keep going till they come back. But Maika, you there? But yeah, basically, just to catch everybody up or get everybody back, in the conversation. Basically, what we're talking about is the community worth saving? Uh, hello, uh, you there? Hello.
All right, better.
Yep.
Yeah, I was saying before, it is pretty insane when people are celebrating something because you'll have those that say, "Oh no, the father is still in life, or the father is still in the house." And my question is, okay, why couldn't you just figure out what would be the best person for you and the family? Well, that just goes back to my point with these people not caring about these kids. Oh, I wanted a baby. Okay, what about what the baby needed? Did anyone think about that? Did anyone consider, okay, this kid is going to be coming into a family where mommy and daddy cannot stand each other? That's not good. That's not good at all. And that just goes to show just how much these people actually care about these kids. Because why are we celebrating? Oh, it's another birth. Okay, it's another woman and man having a kid that's not married and more than likely is not going to grow up in a loving, stable family. That's what's going to happen. Why is that celebrated? You know?
Yeah. And yeah, I agree. I agree with you on that because that like if we want to take like feelings and stuff aside, right? Feelings and stuff and separate feelings. We know that we know or there are stats and life experience that can show that children are better equipped to or they perform better in life or they have less obstacles in life when they come in stable two-parent households, right? So, like I said earlier, things happen. You know what I mean? Things happen, deal with it, whatever like that. But what Maika is speaking to is a great point because why wouldn't you do what's best for the child? That's kind of like the thing where it's like I've seen posts going around social media where they like make fun of or they look at people weird because they don't have kids by a certain age, right? Or you're looked at as different. You know it like they look at you as weird because you don't want to have kids or you don't want to or not that you don't want to have kids but you want to have kids when you have a family versus having kids just to have kids. You know what I mean? I've noticed that a lot of people their goal is to have kids and not to have a family. And I've heard women say that. If you ask the women what they want, they say, "Oh, I want a son, I want a daughter." But you don't hear those same women say, "I want a husband." But then when the women that do say they want to have a husband, they get labeled as pick me's. You know what I mean? And I cannot stand that. But you know what I mean? So sorry. I'm gonna just read these comments real quick. Isabella, thumbs up. Isabella, you say it better than I do. I agree. I appreciate you, Isabel. I'm sorry, I said Isabella. I'm sorry, Isabel. Um, but yeah, I appreciate you guys' comments. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. When I'm reading, I'm reading. Excuse me. I promise, guys. I promise. I'm reading the comments. But I think that I think that it's insane. It's insane that we just I use the example that back in the day, right? Back in the day when you used to hear about people, like people and you hear about them getting pregnant, right? And you hear about the girl getting pregnant out of wedlock and what they do is they ship them up north. You know what I'm saying? Or they send them up north, they send them upstate. You know what I mean? They were getting them away from that situation, or they were putting them in hiding, so to speak. It wasn't something that was celebrated and championed and treated like as a celebration. They had at least the knowledge to know that what happened brought shame to the family. In other cultures, in other places in the world, that kind of thing is frowned upon. It's frowned upon. So, well, like I've noticed that just in American culture in general, but specifically in the black culture, what we are dealing with is basically a Sodom and Gomorrah situation where the worst egregious behavior is accepted. And I'm not saying that having kids out of wedlock is the worst or most egregious thing, but guess what? The damage that a broken home creates when they create little Pookie and little Pookie is running around terrorizing the community, that comes from somewhere. And it comes from in part from a lack of family structure. Lil Pookie is gonna do whatever Lil Pookie chooses to do, but At the end of the day, we have to acknowledge the role that our decisions play in the future in the future generations. That's why I always talk about the youth, because people don't want to acknowledge the fact that the youth are a reflection of the community or the reflection of the culture. The youth are only demonstrating what they've been taught or what they've been shown, the examples that are before them. They're blank canvases. They're blank canvases. And you can go ahead and cut in whenever you want, Mike. You know what I mean? Just I don't want to get to rambling.
Yeah, no, you're right, and that's why me, when everyone's like, "Oh, well, all you're talking about is the problems. What about solutions?" I'm like, the solution is to those that want to. They're gonna have to get out. They're gonna have to earn their way to help because it's just simply not worth spending your time and resources. And I gotta get off soon because I
Oh, it's
gotta
no
get
problem.
some
I
sleep.
understand.
But yeah, it's simply not worth it. Like you guys were saying earlier, 25% out of 75%, you're investing your resources into that? Are you serious? Anyone, anyone with a logical brain, even these so-called, you know, down for the people, activist type of actors would say, yeah, that's not worth investing your time and resources in. It's like, okay, then, so why are you yelling at us when we point that factor out? That it ain't worth, oh, the one kid you get out of the 100. That is what all of your work was for, all
Yeah,
your resources. You could have thrown that into a business. You could have went. You could have put any of that money, any of that time into something else, and it would have given you much better results. Much better results. I
right.
did it. I wasn't even a full man. I learned how this game works. You don't waste your time or resources on things that do not give you a high probability of profit. That's how the American system operates. Anyone
Exactly.
that has a problem with that, go to another country.
Go somewhere
Yeah,
else.
and these, yeah, go somewhere else. In these other countries, yeah, you can waste thousands upon thousands of dollars, millions of dollars in time, and you'll probably get something out of it. Yeah, probably. But in America, that's not how it works. And that's the thing, black Americans, that's why I say, look, if the child or the young adult really wants to, it's on them.
Yeah,
I'm sorry that your parents fucked you up, but I'm
that's
not
real.
your parent.
That's real.
It's not my job. I'm not responsible for what happened to you. So I'm not responsible for getting you out of that situation. It is now on you, like I had to get out of that situation. And to me, that's fair. You know,
Yeah, it is. I mean,
that's fair.
you got to think about it. Like Kevin Samuels used to say. He used to say that after a certain age, any knowledge you want, you're gonna have to pay for.
Yeah,
Like that means that if you couldn't get a mentor when you were younger, or you know what I mean, you couldn't get a dad to show you or a father figure or something like that, you
you're
probably
gonna
gonna
have
have
to
to get
pay
a
for it.
coach. You're gonna have to get a
Yeah,
coach.
you're
You're
gonna
gonna
have to
have to
pay
go.
for it.
Exactly, and that's the truth, and it's real because people don't understand that people really aren't obligated to help you. They aren't obligated to help you. So
They should,
yeah,
but I learned a long time ago with my own parents. Like, yeah, they gave me nothing for adulthood. I had to figure it out. And unfortunately, for a lot of these younger adults, like Gen Z, Gen Alpha, it's like, bro, I'm not responsible for your circumstances. So don't be looking to me thinking, oh, you should have. No, I did not make you. So I am not responsible for your existence or outcome. If you want my help, you're gonna have to come where that help exists. That's what I was taught. I was taught
Mm-hmm.
you only help those that deserve it. You do not help those that beg you for it because they didn't offer anything when they showed up. I think that's a fair statement.
Yeah, it is because at the end of the day, a lot of people they'll waste your time, and I know that
Yeah.
I can say that as a person who's been that person that would have wasted somebody's time. You know what I mean? But so
Hmm.
and that's what I mean. Like it's like you can because I see things from both perspectives, and that's why that's why I'm kind of so hard about certain things that I am hard about because I've been on both sides of the spectrum. So it's like I get it, and so it's like I get it, but you have to. It's almost like you need to give them tough love in order to get them out of that, because breaking free from the matrix that this black culture has people on, this mindset, is not something that's easy.
No,
If we just being honest, it's
it's
not
not.
easy to do. It's not easy to break out of this sandbox. But you need tough love in order to do it. You know what I mean? So I mean I think you're right. I don't think like what you're saying is like too hard or like too tough. I really don't. I mean, it's some people that just they won't help you at all. You know what I mean? And
It's not that it's tough. I mean, it's the brutal reality of the world. Because I say see it like this: you take a black 18-year-old boy, young man, black 18-year-old young woman. Who is going to be the majority that actually gets assistance? We all
right,
know it ain't going to be the 18-year-old, kid.
right,
Majority of the time, he didn't come from that family. He didn't get nothing. We all know that's true. We went through it. You didn't come from a family that had resources. You got nothing.
right,
That's it. They threw you out. Good luck. Many failed. Most failed. Very few continued on. So to me, that just wakes it up even more. And it's like, look, if this is going to be the result, then I say apply it to both sides. And I'm gonna go after I say this. But the thing, my point is essentially, I am not going to go and waste my time to help people out of a situation I didn't make for them.
right.
It is on them to get out that situation. And if they really want to, there's nothing stopping them. There's nothing physically restricting them from saying, I don't like this. I am leaving. I am going on. They are the ones that are deciding to stay. That's what I had to learn. I'm staying here because I believe, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. Once I realized I have nothing here to actually stay for, it was easy.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a light switch, and I walked right off the black community plantation and never looked back.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you be good, Jay. I got to get some sleep for work. You
Okay.
take it easy, man.
Hey, I appreciate you for coming up, man. Thank you, sincerely.
Yeah, no
Thank you.
problem.
Appreciate you. Hope all is well. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, guys! Shout out to Maika for coming up. If anybody else wants to, I pinned the link. I pinned the link so you can see how this works, guys. If anybody else wants to come up, share your opinion. But I mean, also, if you got anything in the chat, let me know. Like I said, I appreciate you. I appreciate you for stopping by. I'm not, we gonna keep it going. I'm not ending it or nothing. But uh, Isabel says, I'm in a long relationship. My fiance looks at me as Dr. Frankenstein, admire his monster, but it's because I know my place. I'm a woman with hormones that, if unchecked, could split us up. Yeah, that's real. Yeah, Isabel is very self aware. Yeah, I mean, it's self aware and it takes a lot of maturity. It takes a lot of maturity. Be honest. I mean, just for you to say that, but and to be honest, there's no shame there's no shame in anything that Isabel just said. There are a lot of women, specifically modern women nowadays, that'll try to shame women like Isabel. But at the end of the day, Isabel, she has a fiance and she's about, you know what I mean. She's you know what I mean. Like, come on now, like you gotta look at the circumstance. Look at the circumstance. Look, and it doesn't. There is no shame in being a woman. Like Isabel is probably more dangerous than Fannie Willis will ever be in her life. Make that make sense. And you know why? Because Isabel's a woman, and when she uses her woman, the abilities of a woman, you get more done as a woman than you would be as a masculine woman like Fannie Willis, and that's just the truth. And I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? I don't want to necessarily make this about Fannie, but I'm just saying Fannie is a great example of what not to be as a woman. Just saying, just saying. Appreciate the comments. Keith Wisdom says, hope for a new black community. That's actually my goal. Spoiler alert, guys. That's actually what I want to happen. What I want to happen is for us to get rid of this current black community or this black culture and get rid of it. Get rid of it and start something new. And the truth of the matter is, the only way that I believe that we can successfully do that is by divesting. We have to separate ourselves from the ideas, the culture, the beliefs, and just the general behavior that's been associated with the black community up until now, and we have to create something different. That is the only way that the black community will ever have a chance of thriving, and that's just what I believe. You know what I mean? I'm not. There are people that would disagree. There are people that will be able to hit you with all kind of facts and statistics that would disagree with everything that I'm saying, and that's okay. But I'm telling you, there's not much difference between the black community and cultures and civilizations that resemble Sodom and Gomorrah. And we saw how those civilizations ended up. We saw how civilizations like Rome ended up. I don't see much difference. I don't see the difference. I don't know. I mean, guys, let me know if I'm off. But my goal, I would love to see us get rid of the old black community, the old black culture. Get rid of it. Let it just go in the wind. Let it just go in the wind. And that's what I hope for. That's what I hope for, sincerely. Isabel with the thumbs up. Maika says strong women which are feminine, have ended entire civilizations and kingdoms. Facts. Facts. Um, yeah, no, but that's no, that's actually really facts though. Seriously, that's actually really facts. Because like, just I know this is a fictional example, but like even just look at, like, remember Troy? Did y'all see Troy and how that woman literally caused that whole city to be the impenetrable city to become destroyed? A woman did that. A woman did that. Not a Fannie Willis, but a feminine woman did that. It's fiction. like, guys, I know it's fiction, but I'm just saying it's a real. It's an example. It's to illustrate the point that women that are feminine have more power. They're able to influence the world better than a woman that is masculine and trying to influence the world as a man would. And that's what Fannie Willis is an example of. That's why Fannie Willis is so well received, or is not well received, while Ashley Merchant, even with her haters, the people that hate on her, but Ashley Merchant is more well received than Fannie Willis. And Ashley Merchant isn't anywhere near as powerful as she is. With actual structurally, just saying, it's the truth. Maurice July says, "Hey Jay, I stay tuned in, and you're a real black light." I appreciate that. I don't take stuff like that lightly. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I mean, I'm never gonna get up here and pretend like I'm perfect, like I got it all together. I'm never gonna do that. I'm just a guy I get up here and I try to tell my opinions in a truthful and objective manner. I try not to be too influenced by my biases. I try not to be too influenced by how I feel about things. But I really try to just get up here and take advantage of the time to just tell the truth. I don't try to mislead people. I don't try to deter people in any way. That's kind of like if you're watching, if you saw the stream the other day, that's kind of why I was getting frustrated with with somebody that was on there, because I don't like when people are intentionally misleading people. So, I like, thank you, Maurice. I don't take comments like that lightly. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, you guys could literally be anywhere doing anything, but you, like, the fact that you're here with me, I I genuinely appreciate that. I genuinely appreciate that, and I want I just want to know, again, is the black community worth saving? And do you guys, if you guys think that the black community is worth saving, if there's anybody that thinks that the black community is worth saving, I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear your opinion, because at the end of the day, I like I love to have conversations, and I love to have dialogue. And so at the end of the day, I mean, I just want you guys to know that when I say that black culture is trash, I'm not saying that out of a place of hatred. I'm not saying it out of a place of disdain for black people. I hate the sin. I don't hate the sinner. I don't hate the sinner. But that's just, I don't know. That's just my thoughts. Um But yeah, like I said, let me know if any of you guys have any opinions, or maybe you have any like methods that could possibly help the black community, because we know we know that we have bad education, right? So how do we make kids care about education, right? How do you make education cool? Well, one way that I think that you could possibly make education cool is by demonstrating how getting jobs in fields like in STEM fields, opposed to jobs like being an entertainer or a rapper, even though it would challenge a lot of kids, but a lot of kids, like, the thing is, it would be easier if you started young. So if we made these things popular young and instilled them values to where kids grew up knowing, okay, well, I want to be a lawyer, so I need to do this. And then we tailored school in a way where it's less about forcing kids to learn things that they're never going to use, but instead, like college, where it's tailored to each individual, or it's tailored towards people that are going towards a specific path. If if we were actually training kids to know as early as high school where they want to go with their life, and we were tailoring the high school experience to each individual kid. Now, I'm just going off the top here. Like, this is just, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that this is a flawless idea, but if we were tailoring the education system more towards not just teaching kids skills, but teaching kids skills that are valuable, that are marketable skills that would earn them money. That they knew that they could earn money. That way, even if you want to chase your dreams, then guess what? Most people have to realize that it costs money to chase your dreams. Costs money to chase your dreams. And it's just, oh my God, my goodness gracious. Um, Keith Wisdom says, make educated cool by having cool parents. The schools are not bad if the students like to read and study outside of school. Look at Ben Carson. I think I think that's mostly true. I think no, I think I can objectively say I can only speak for me. I grew up in St. Louis. I'm not gonna be specific about which school I went to or anything like that, but I grew up in St. Louis, and I noticed a distinct difference between private school and public school, and not just private school, but private school with predominantly white and private school predominantly black. And I noticed that there is a difference. So I get you, and yeah, I think that it's the parents' job to instill the value of education, right? I agree with you 100% there. So if parents instilled in their kids the value of education, I mean, then that will play a part. I mean, of course, there is the the fact that we have to acknowledge that kids can potentially do whatever they want to do. So at the end of the day, parents can teach them as much as they want to teach them, but I think it's a fair statement to say that public schools in general, specifically black public schools, need a lot of work. Maybe that doesn't apply to schools outside of St. Louis, but in St. Louis, it's predominantly black public schools are trash, and that's just the truth of the matter. That's the truth. Yeah, but I appreciate your comment, Keith. Wisdom. Appreciate your comments, Maurice. Um, Keith Wisdom says, "You ever heard of public university versus Howard? Talent gifts give students go to schools other than Harvard and are successful." Uh, yeah. 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 That's true for sure. I don't think that you have to go to like the top Ivy League schools in order to be successful. I just like I said, I just think that a lot of black schools are just barely getting by and teaching they're teaching children the bare minimum, and they're not equipping them for the actual real success educationally. They're not teaching them things, you know what I mean, that actually can be applied to the real world. And again, like I said, I can only speak for where I went to school and from the environment of where I'm from. But maybe it's different. You know what I mean? But that's just that. That's just what I've experienced. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna be right back.
que só ilumina coisas do além que vão além. Quando de repente é coincidência, nem precisa se esforçar pra crer. Apagaram as luzes pra eu ver. Saí da onde vim pra eu poder ser. Você mostrou o caminho pra eu andar. Eu disse é pelo mar que eu vou nadar. Não é só na vida que é a vida. Não é na janela que se olha. Há uma linha clara perto da saída. Fecha os olhos e você vai ver. Não é só aqui que o sol ilumina coisas do além que vão além. Quando de repente é coincidência, nem precisa se esforçar pra querer.
What's going on, y'all? So we back. So let's go ahead and catch up with these comments real quick. Isabel Rivera she says that education is somehow equated to being white, and that needs to stop. That's a terrible roadblock for inner city children who wanted to succeed, who do that to want to succeed, read and study. Reading is fundamental, and that's true. See, once upon a time, I stumbled across something on the internet, and it's something that really freaked me out. And like, cause for any of you that know, I kind of told a little bit of my story, right? The story of how I was once on the more woke side, and then I had my wake up call, and then I basically liberated myself. That was how I became an actual person that thinks for themselves instead of just going along to get along, right? And when that happened, it was basically because of this. It's because what I saw something, and what I saw scared me. Now, guys, what I saw was not some creepy picture of Hunter Biden in his laptop. It wasn't. It wasn't Hillary Clinton. Cut in the backyard, cutting chickens and sacrificing chickens to Moloch. It wasn't that. No, it wasn't that. Guys, guys, it was the idea. The idea. Listen to me, guys. It was an article that was shared, that was posted from someone for a school system where they were teaching that math was a product of white supremacy. The idea of math, the idea of objectivity, the idea of right and wrong was equated to being a product of white supremacy. You imagine that, guys? Math. That's the world that we live in. And it's just like Isabel said. They want to push this idea in this narrative. And I always go back to that, because these people, that they defend critical race theory being in schools because they think that it's just teaching about the history of black folks, when in reality all it is teaching that white people dictate everything, and it's crazy. And this is why I said, this is why this is just what that comment just made me think about. It's just all these arguments and debates that I've gotten into about critical race theory, when in reality, all it is a roadblock. It's a mental roadblock. And why would you want your kids being told that everything that they do, everything that they see, everything that's a part of the world that they live in is about white supremacy, and they're never going to be anything because of white supremacy? That's always been my problem with Marxism. That's always been my problem with a lot of this leftist ideologies that they're trying to push people, and the idea that they're trying to put this wokeness that they're trying to push in schools. It's really bad. It's really bad. If you make people afraid to be educated, then guess what? You've officially killed the culture. You've gotten rid of the culture, because then what happens is, because then these people, they now all of a sudden now it's, oh well, I don't, I'm an independent thinker now, you know what I mean? And they make real independent thinkers actually afraid to even give themselves the name independent thinker, because all they're doing is just taking, now whatever information they get, they can just assign their own meaning to it. And that's not what being an independent thinker is. It means that you have the ability to formulate and concoct ideas based off of the information that you are given without being influenced by outside sources. Meaning that if you read something and it's true and you have an opinion on it, if I think that it's messed up for Fanny to be married or to be hooking up with a man that's legally married, if I think that that's messed up, that Nathan Wade is hooking up with people while he's legally married, regardless of if black culture says, or regardless of if American culture says that that's normal, that means that because I don't agree with it, guess what? We're not debating facts. We're debating morals right now at that point. Because I don't agree with it, I'm not going to change how I feel just because you say that I should feel that way or that I shouldn't care. That's just, yeah, that's just how I look at it. And you reading is fundamental, just like Isabel said. That's the truth. Um, Keith says it's not the school, it's the students. What happen if you put all the bad school students in Harvard and all the Harvard students in the ghetto school? The school name is meaningless. Yeah, I mean the bad students would tear Harvard up, and then the good students would. You don't think that the good? You don't think that the well? Mm, oh, that's fair. I mean, that's fair. Um, Keith says better school is more study. Better school is more study. So if you send a black ghetto kid who is to a good school, he may not want to do work unless he has cool parents who trained him. Mm, yeah, I mean, unless yeah, yeah, I mean, I get your point definitely. I definitely get your point, Keith. Um, key is good teachers and exposing kids to standard test training early. But if the kid ain't ready, it will be too much for the ghetto black kid. Um, do you really think standard test? I don't even think standard. Like I'm gonna just be honest. Like this is just my opinion, okay, guys. I'm not an educator. These are just my opinions. I don't necessarily think that the standardized testing thing is really an effective way of really bringing kids up to standard. I think that I got, like I said, who am I? But I don't think that that is an effective way. If I'm just saying, because just standard testing per se, because some kids aren't good test takers. So I mean, I think I think that you're right that it starts with the parents, but at the end of the day, some kids aren't meant to go to college. They shouldn't go to college. I mean, more. I think if a lot of people some people are better off getting trades. Okay, some people are better off like some people are better off being lawyers. Some people are better off being bankers. Some people are better off, being plumbers. And I hate to say that, but I mean, that doesn't mean you have to be a broke plumber. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't get further education to do what you're doing the best that you can do it. But yeah, that's just me. I mean, mm, I just don't know if standardized testing is the best. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. Keeps standard test is key to becoming a lawyer, doctor, certification line. Yeah, but yeah, I think no, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be for those particular things. I think that there should be a standard test, but I'm saying that I think that those standard tests should be unique to the field. I guess per se. You know what I mean? Uh, yeah, unique to the field or the the direction that the student is going in. Like, yes, if you want to become a lawyer, you do need to pass a competency, a standard competency test. But you know what I mean? You shouldn't have the same test as someone in the medical field. You know what I mean? So I'm talking about more like those monthly or like those quarterly tested that or the mat or I don't remember what they called it, but it was something that they called it. The standardized test that they would have every year, every semester that people that we spend time that we spend time getting ready for. I don't really remember what it was. But if you get what I'm saying, I'm just talking about standardized tests in general, not specifically like competency tests. I think people should have to do competency tests. So that just to be clear, that's not what I'm saying. Um, I'm not talking about the SAT Fry. Uh, bad test score doesn't mean dumb kids. Yeah, I agree with you. Pressure comes with testing. It limits imagination. I think that that's an excuse and a cop out, but I mean, I don't think it's wrong. I think that some people aren't good at tests, but I don't want to just say it limits imagination. I would just say some people just, some people just don't perform as well as others, and that's just the truth. But it doesn't mean that they can't be competent in other ways, but or it doesn't mean that they can't make up for it, but it's just harder for some people. Doesn't mean that doesn't mean that they still shouldn't try to be the best that they could be at it though. At the same time, so I wouldn't put myself in the victim because I'm not necessarily the best test taker, but I wouldn't put myself in the victim category saying it limits my imagination. I would just simply say that I just need to get better at taking tests. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, B Fry. I wasn't talking about the ACT. It's something else that they just started a couple years ago. Like when I, well, not shoot. I've been out of school like 10 years, but it's something they just started like in like 20 years ago or something like that. Map or something like that. It was something like that. It wasn't SAT. It wasn't the ACT. It was something else. It was something else that everybody had to take, but it was in the middle of the year. Uh, um, Keith says depends on the goal of the student. but you are test all through school, so you have to get through it to get good grades. Yes, that's a fact. In class, you would do papers and even get tested. Even trade school, you get tested, and that's why I was saying I agree with you, and that's why I didn't want to say, oh, we just should accept being bad at at taking tests, because at the end of the day, you got to take them. And I remember that there was this one time where a teacher would actually let me get away with not doing my homework because I would perform well on tests. Why do we do tests? Well, the tests are there to judge your competency, right? So, you know what I mean? Like, if you, that's the reason why you have tests. If you aren't good at taking tests, then maybe that just means that you have to work harder to learn the material, or you have to work harder to rise up to that. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I get what you're saying, Keith. I genuinely do. Um, you can't get away from it. And I mean, you're gonna be tested all throughout your life. So I mean, it's something that it's better for you to learn how to you know, become competent, because even when you get a trade, for those of y'all that don't know, um, like, you know, even for those of y'all that really don't know, even when you get a trade license, right? It's not just the end getting a trade license. It's not just the end when you get a certificate. Most of these certificates that are gonna get you the money that you want, you have to renew them. You have to get other kind of courses, other kind of education. So at the end of the day, you know, Keith is right. I mean, you really do have to just learn how to suck it up. I mean, just suck it up. If you're not good at taking tests, then you have to work harder at it. And it's not I mean, that's just the truth. That's just the truth. Marie says, keep your level of awareness all the way up. I feel like I'm a part of a blind culture, not black culture, and we don't keep an open on what's right. I don't see any real role models at this point. And that's the problem. Yeah, and that's the problem, because it's like, at the end of the day, even if there were to be role models, the black culture wouldn't accept them, because they wouldn't be willing to go along with being a real role model in titles. You know what I mean? It's like, everybody loves to talk about Malcolm X, right? Everybody loves to talk about Malcolm X, but nobody really loves to talk about the way Malcolm X carried himself. They just love Malcolm X for being somebody that was with the rah rah when it came to dealing with the white man, but they don't talk about how Malcolm X carried himself, how he was rocking us, like how he always was presenting himself, like, in nice clothes as a gentleman, and how he actually carried himself when he was talking to people. So, you know, that's the truth. I think that there might be role models out there, but the black community won't embrace them, and that's the truth of the matter. But they'll follow people like Umar Johnson, though. They'll follow Umar Johnson, but that's a whole topic for another day. Topic for another day. Keith says, thanks for being open minded and thinking through comments. New sub. Thank you so much, Keith. I appreciate you. And thank you for stopping through. You know what I mean? I appreciate you for checking out the stream. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I appreciate you guys. Enjoy it. Be honest, I'm gonna be honest, guys. Like, we all know that the bigger this channel gets, there is gonna come a day where I'm not gonna be able to, look at every single comment and read every single comment. But I want you guys to know that day is nowhere near here. So I appreciate every single comment that comes through. And when that day comes, guess what? I'ma still appreciate every single comment that comes through. So I'm not yeah, I appreciate you guys so much, and that's why I keep stopping to say that, because I appreciate you guys. Like, the fact that you here contributing your opinions, and we're having this dialogue back and forth, it means the world to me, and you guys just don't understand it. I don't know if you really understand that, but thank you, seriously, sincerely. Um, let's see. Keith says trade. You have you have pass board or license and get continued education to keep up with changes. Yep, absolutely. Um, yeah, basically you have to pass a test. You have to pass a test in order to get your license, and most of them, right? Because I'll say this right. For instance, I like suits a lot, right? I like suits, and I like suits so much that I want to help other people look nice when they have to go to their business meetings, when they have to go to these formal events. Because, like I said before, one of the biggest problems with the black community is their image, right? And yes, I'm sitting there in a jacket right now, but I know how to put on a suit, guys. Don't test me. I know how to put on a suit, and I know how to rock a suit, and I can help other people rock a suit, right? Most of the issue with that is a lot of people not gonna care about it, right? But I'm saying that to say that I looked into becoming like an image consultant, right? When you become an image consultant, you have to get a license, right? And in order to get that license, you have to take a test and you have to pass a test. And once you pass that test, you get the license. And then you have to take more tests and you have to do work in order to keep that license. So, yes, Keith is right. You're going to have to take tests for the rest of your life. Unless you're a woman that's going to get married and then, you get married to a traditional man that's going to take care of you, then you'll probably never have to take a test again besides a driver's test, in your life. And, if you're a woman, that should be the goal for you, to be honest. I mean, I'm just saying. It doesn't really sound like a bad life. I'm pro tradition, so that's just me. Doesn't really sound like a bad life to me, but, I'm not, I'm neither here nor there. I hear them call them, they got a lot of names for them, so, um, the word Isabel says the words trade, test, and role models apply to succeeding in a career and in a relationship. It's what challenges us, and we must come to terms with it. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Isabel says me. Yeah, shout out to you, Isabel. Congratulations, by the way. Congratulations, seriously. I hope that really works out for you. I'm really love to hear that. But yeah, and I just think that Keith says, do you get tailored suits and do you wear full or tight suits? Short jacket and tight pants or full fit. Nah, I'm not. I'm a little on the shorter side, Spoiler alert, guys. So I have to get I gotta get custom suits. So Suit Supply is my best friend. So no, I do not wear tight suits. No, I don't wear tight suits. They're tailored and Taylor is she's a really nice lady. I really enjoy her. Seriously, but absolutely no tights. No, none of that tight stuff. If it's too tight, I won't wear it. um, good question, Keith. Uh, it's a good question. uh, but yeah, tailored, tailored. I agree, Isabel. It was a good question. um. Robert Oliver says, does today's black culture encourage academic excellence as the black community did over 60 years ago? Um, that's a good question. um, mm, let's see, but Robert, that's a good question. That's a really good question because on one hand, I would say yes because we hear people bragging about their academic achievements a lot, and I would argue that oh yeah, if you were to put a gun in my head, I would say not as a culture, not a that's a good question, Robert. I don't know. I don't know. See, that's the thing, guys. Sometimes you just have to say you just don't know, because that one could go either way. That one could go either way because by the same token, 60 years ago, we wasn't having this PhD discussion, right? But then at the same time, you could say that blacks now have so much opportunity compared to the people 60 years ago, but do they take advantage of it as much as the people 60 years ago took advantage of what they had to work with? So it's a really multifaceted question that I couldn't just give like a really straight answer on that. So it's a really good, but that in itself is why I think that it's a great question. So shout out to you, Robert. Appreciate it. Um, I don't know. That is a really good question. I'm trying to. Yeah, that's gonna bug me. Hmm. Hmm. Do I think that black culture encourages academic excellence as much as 60 years ago now? Maybe for women. Maybe for women it does. Not for men. I don't think so. I think that people I think that there are people that encourage there are people that throw their academic achievements in their face, but you don't hear the same narrative of the oh we're the most enrolled and all that kind of stuff like you hear the women saying. So I think what's more pushed to women nowadays is that they need to go to school, get all these degrees, but I don't see that same narrative being pushed towards men. So maybe I'm off. I'm open to being wrong on this, but that's just how I see it. It was a really good question. Keith says, "Glad, keep it up. I'm old school. The suits in the 1980s were nice. Young boys are wearing these tight ones. Yeah, honestly, if I had to, if I fit anywhere, I guess you could describe me as more like a Harvey Specter. I guess that's more like my style. So yeah, if you want an idea, I just don't wear my pants as baggy as he does. That's all. No break on my pants, but pretty much from the top, Harvey Specter, no break on the pants. That's the difference. I don't wear my baggy pants. I hate baggy slacks. That's just me though. Isabella, Robert, good question too. Yeah, Robert has a lot of good questions. Keith, thanks. Um, Keith, Isabella, thanks. B Fry says, I see B Fry. We can agree sometimes, and you know what I mean. See, it's nothing against you. We can agree sometimes. But more today because of scholarships are at an abundance and it's becoming a lifestyle, especially black womb man. Black womb man is the fastest growing graduating degree segment. Um, mm, yeah, I don't disagree with that. Yeah, like I said, I don't disagree with that at all. I think I think education in general was more appreciated back then, but I think that now it. is pushed more, but that also might just be because of social media, and people didn't have as much of a voice back then to spread it. So we don't have to. Back then they didn't have an internet to see on the Kevin Samuels video when women bragging about their PhDs 5 nights a week. You know what I mean? We didn't see that back then, but we didn't have that back then, but we do now. So, uh, okay. Smithereen says, "Yo, what the f is this title?" Ba- no. What is the title? I mean, it's pretty simple. Is the black community worth saving? Do you think so? Do you think it's worth saving? I mean, you know, answer the question. uh, uh, B Fry says Robert Oliver is not 67. He's a skier snowboarder like me. That's funny. um, y'all a little too wild for me. A little too y'all a little too wild for me. I can have that snowboarding, snowboarding, skiing. Y'all can have that. The Keith says the kids have so much opportunities with the internet. I mean, you can study stocks and finances, and in a few years, you can hit a few buttons on computers and make thousands to millions. Yeah, that's true. They have a lot of opportunities now. People really don't understand it, and that's what I think people don't. That's one thing that I will say, Robert. I think that the opportunities now make it easier. So maybe okay. Okay. So what you guys are witnessing right now is my brain working in real time. This is how I think of stuff. So Robert asked the great question, which is, do you think education is celebrated or pushed in, or basically, I'm paraphrasing, but do you think education is valued and appreciated as much as it was back 60 years ago? My answer to that is no. It's not celebrated and appreciated as much. What it is we have so much access. We have so much access right now that it just becomes, it's almost like a term of endearment. But if the people back then had that same access, I don't think it's a question that they would take more advantage of it than the current black culture, because right now it's not promoted and it's not popular to be smart. It's not promoted and it's not popular to be a nerd. It's not popular and it's not smart to be basically above average or different from the rest. The people that are above average usually have to cover up the fact that they're above average in order to not be ostracized by people within their own communities. So, yeah, I think that people back then valued education more, but people now undoubtedly have more opportunities, which in turn leads them to basically being more involved in it. They brag on it. It's a bragging right. So not so much as a life or death thing as it would have been for people back then. Like, if that makes sense. I hope I'm making some kind of sense, guys. Um, Marie says black culture is trash. Don't keep put it in the can inside the house and take it out the door, and take a step closer to waste management already. Don't save it. Um, Smithereens says worth saving is wild. He says I'm white, but everybody's worth saving. What do you mean by worth saving? Genuinely curious, unless you mean like worth time helping. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, is is the black, yeah, because we're not talking about individuals here. We're talking about, is the community worth the time and the effort that you have to spend trying to help it when all it wants to do is do wrong against itself. You basically fighting a battle against you basically fighting trying to help somebody that's trying to fight you. If that makes sense. Is it worth going through that? That's what I mean when I say is the community worth saving? Are people that want to be helped worth helping? Yes, in my opinion, yes. They are worth helping. But for the majority of people that's not the case. They aren't willing to embrace change. They don't want help. So if they don't want help, are they worth the time that you were trying to spend trying to convince them, or the time that they could be corrupting you? You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. So I mean, I hope that makes sense and answer the question. Um, Keith says you can make YouTube videos, find gig jobs, do OnlyFans apps for everything. You can do tech work on computers and stay home. If you find your passion and study, you can make it. That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. That's absolutely no, that's absolutely true. I mean, there's so many avenues, so many different ways, and it's almost that, and that's really why I say that there's no excuse. That's really why I say there's no excuse for a lot of these modern blacks because they have so many opportunities. There are people that are literally just getting on YouTube and making videos, and then they're becoming first generation millionaires. Okay, it's not me. It's not me. Guys. It's not me. That didn't happen to me yet. But hopefully, hopefully, God willing, hopefully. Smithereen says you got to take them out of that environment. Need good role models. Thanks for clarifying. Oh, it's no problem. It's no problem. I appreciate you for stopping through. And yeah, and that's kind of what my point is. I think at the end of the day, I think what's effective for black people, or the most effective, I'm not gonna say the only effective way, but I'm gonna say the most effective way is to actually divest from that culture and that environment, therefore not trying to be a light in the darkness, like we're like, you know what I mean, because I feel like that's Jesus' job. Jesus is supposed to be a light in the darkness. Jesus went down to hell, you know, basically conquered death and came back. That's for Jesus to do. But what we need to do is to separate ourselves. Like, when I say we, I mean blacks that are like that actually value the culture, like a culture that can be better. We have to separate ourselves and therefore go on and become a beacon of light for the people that want to do better, or the people that will want to do better. We shouldn't stay in that darkness, because that darkness is only dimming our light. So, like I said, I don't mind clarifying. I appreciate the comments. Hey Maria, hope you were doing well too. Thank you. Thanks for stopping through. Yeah, I had a day. I had a day. I hope yours was good though. It was interesting. Um, Maria says, after graduating high school, my first job interview as typist was at the Empire State Building. Jesus Christ. Shout out to you. I didn't type as fast, but it motivated me to strive and go to college, and I've achieved many great things. Salute to you, Isabel. Salute. Um, that's dope. That's really dope. Keith says, but the new community is not traditional. Some are with non-black spouses, biracial kids, different values, make be republic. Uh, oh yeah, that's dope. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna dox y'all, but um, no, Maria, you don't. No, you don't. Maria says I'm a substitute teacher. No, I need I say more. No, you don't. You don't. Trust me. Trust me. I read you loud and clear. I read you loud and clear. Bless your heart. Um, yeah. Let, let's just take a second to really just just salute Maria for what she goes through because the way they do substitute teachers is really substitute teachers really don't deserve what they go through and they need more appreciation. Teachers in general just need more appreciation because they don't deserve what they go through. Let's just be honest and just like look at things in perspective. Like you like teachers don't deserve what kids put them through. Yeah, it's just oh goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Thanks for y'all comments though. I appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, and it's just but back to Keith's comment. Keith, so I got a question for you. Do you think that that's bad though? Because like even if we embrace say for instance because I consider myself like a neo traditionalist. You know what I mean? That's the box that I would put myself in. I'm a on the actual scale, I'm more I'm like basically a right leaning libertarian. But when it comes to values, I'm more like a neo traditionalist. So it's like traditional values, but I believe that they can be altered and improved upon, to basically account for modern times, right? So I have this theory, right? And I have this theory that because racism is so big, right? Because racism is such a big deal for so many people that maybe a great way to combat racism is for more people to actually get involved in biracial relationships because therefore if everybody is mixed and everybody is a part of everybody, wouldn't that eliminate race from the equation? Yeah, people will find new ways to segregate themselves. I'm not saying that they wouldn't, but I'm just saying that we would take race off the table. Would that be so bad? Um, Maria says I help those who really want to be helped. Some really are jerks. Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree. That's why I say teachers really don't deserve what they go through, and I hate. I used to be in class, and I was never that person, so I used to hate. I used to hate watching that, but because of the culture, we never really like. It's not much that you could do to stand up to that, but it's like you just try to be better and just try to not be part of the chaos, and that's how it is. Keith says black separated a long time ago. Black, I don't know what that word is. I'm not even gonna hold you. But most blacks don't rock with them, including me. Yeah, sorry. I don't know what that word was. My bad. Um, Isabel with the facts saying, Maria, you are valuable as you must know. Yep. Yep. I agree. I agree. Teachers teachers are valuable. I believe in in pillars of culture, right? And part of how we learn culture. I'm sorry. Part of how we learn culture. A big part of what influences kids and young people is gonna be what they learn in the school. So parents, family, bottom. That's the bottom. That's the foundation. School, teachers, who the teachers are, they have probably the next amount of influence and probably the biggest influence. I hate to say it, but it's even a bigger influence on you than what your parents are because the type of teachers you have, the type they can inspire you to go in different directions in life. And You know, if any of you have ever had the privilege of having a teacher that like really inspired you to go in a particular direction or saw something in you that you didn't see in yourself that made you think that you could be more or do more, that's a privilege. That's a privilege. It's a privilege. And I'm just glad that I was able to experience that. Seriously, teachers are important. Really important. Maurice says, reach one, teach one. Absolutely facts. Robert Oliver says, save only those who want to be saved. Others are happy to be ignorant. That's actually true. That's 100% true. And I believe the same way. I believe there's probably only about 25% of people that want to be helped. And that's being generous. That's being generous. Only 25%. But those 25% they are worth helping. I think that they're worth helping. Keith says, yes, it was planned, but it will eliminate foundational blacks and they will not have to deal with reparations. Plus, they let in foreign blacks to erase us further. Um, mm, but then again, that goes back to my original point. Is it worth saving? Are we worth not being erased? Are we worth that? And so I mean, I get what you're saying, Keith. It's just I don't know. I don't know if that's so bad. Maria says thank you. Nope, don't want to do that. Maria says thank you. No, thank you, Maria. Um, there, there's no discipline. We can't really do the discipline, but parents won't. We have empty threats. Yeah. And I agree with you. I remember seeing a video, and it was this video of this lady. She called into the school, right? She called into the school, and when she called, or no, the school called her. The lady, she's a teacher. She calls the school because the kid was acting bad, right? And so, kids act bad, so they get called. It happens, right? It happens. Not saying it's a good thing, but it does happen, right? You, the parent actually told the teacher. She said, y'all can't handle that. Y'all can't do nothing. And it was like, what do you want them to do? Like corporal punishment is not in schools anymore. These kids can't whoop. These teachers can't whoop your kids no more. That's your job. That's your job. And that's why I say that the children are the pillar, right? Because the family is the pillar. Because when you learn discipline as a family or from your family, then that's gonna follow you to where it's like I'm not saying like that goes back to my two parent households versus single parent household conversation. Because what I've noticed is even the kids that were bad as two parent household that come from two parent, there was still a different conviction in them, and there was a level. There were levels that they weren't willing to go to compared to other kids. Certain respect that they had that other kids didn't have if they came from stable household. I always got to put that caveat on there because if you come from chaos, then guess what? You're going to exhibit chaos unless you choose to rise above that. But we really have to think about it. We really have to think about it. Teachers can't, it's not they, teachers shouldn't, yeah, they don't pay teachers enough to be disciplining y'all kids. That's just the truth of the matter. Let's just say how it is. Um, um, Keith, the real thing is, I really don't want to mispronounce this word and look silly on stream. But black, Oh yeah, I don't know what that is. It's yeah, sorry guys, but this B word are folks like first black president, blacks who are well educated and connected, black elitism. Oh, oh, is that like black boo? Is that like bougie or something like that? Is that what that word is? Mm, yeah, I mean, yeah. Sorry, I'm not trying to. Sorry, guys. I ain't trying to be slow. I don't. And the thing is, but if I'm in the right scope of understanding, yeah, you talking about people like Obama and all them. You know, basically people that people would call a sellout, right? That's what you're saying, Keith. Basically, the people that sold out, like the Boule people, like the Divine Nine type people. You know, those type of elites. Mm, I'm not saying that we should look up to Obama. I'm definitely not saying that, but aren't those the kind of people that as the community we should be looking up to? You know what I mean? I'm just saying like in theory. In theory, because we've seen already with Fannie Willis that just because somebody is good on paper doesn't mean that they're who we should be looking up to. But I'm just saying though, on like shouldn't we be striving toward like and I'm not saying that to say that I necessarily agree with elitism. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, I'm not as, I don't know. I'm still on the fence about that. Um Keith says they constructed it. We did not do it. We should be in control of what we want as a people. Absolutely. Absolutely. Maria says facts. Keith says you got it. Uh RJ says there needs to be a separation between the well educated black folks and the hood black folks. Oh, don't say that, RJ. You know they'll say you're anti-black now. Don't say that. No, I'm just playing. I think yeah, I think that I agree with you, but you got to think about all the people that are also just complacent with that behavior in general, right? You don't think that they're also a part of the problem? The people that are complacent. RJ says I'm anti-hood, not anti-black. I will let them tell it. There is no distinction. uh, yeah, let them tell it. There's no distinction. You know, if you don't rock with the hood, then you're anti-black. Oh man, it's crazy out here. It's crazy out here. But I always said, if the hood is angry because people don't rock with the hood, then the hood needs to get better representatives and stop letting the worst people represent them. That's the truth of the matter. The hood really cared about what other people thought it just wouldn't it would start holding Pookie accountable and stop letting Pookie be the voice of the hood. And that's just the truth. Shout out to you, RJ. Thanks for the comments. Shout out to everybody for the comments too. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are so dope. Keith says black folks don't rock with them like the Obamas. We just them because they are entertaining and cool, but we don't want the educated part and corny part. That's facts. That's facts. In fact, we talked about earlier that we don't think that there's any leaders or any real like moral leaders in the black community, and you don't think that it's strange that a lot of people their role models are rappers, actors, athletes and entertainers are these people are are the culture's role models, and these people are not role models. That's the whole point. They're not role models, but they're looked at and they have more influence over kids than their own parents do. You don't think that that's a problem? Like, I don't think that that's crazy that rappers and entertainers have more influence over kids nowadays than their own parents. It's just like I said, it's just trash. It's trash. Isabel says inner city parents were wearing pajamas and house slippers while walking their children to school. Where is the encouragement and role model in that parent? Parents went ready to go back to bed. And that's a good point. That's a good point because at the end of the day, as a culture, we don't care about our image enough. We're too willing to go out, and that I mean that's another conversation for another day, another day, Isabella. That's definitely a conversation that I want to have because yeah, our image is trash. Our image is trash, and people are willing to do anything or go any kind of where and don't have any kind of reverence or any kind of cognitive sense. You know what I mean? We've seen the videos. I know you've seen the videos of chicks going in with in bikinis damn near to the Walmart or whatever like that. The G strings. Just butt naked. Like people, the lack of modesty, just yeah, people are crazy, and I hate I hate this bonnet era. That's just me personally, but yeah, I mean, I think you're right, Isabella. It's just, whew. Um, RJ says my black child will have black role models. It'll be Larry Elders and Ben Carson's. Facts. That's what I was saying. I was like, there are actually are black role models and people to look up to. You know what I mean? The problem is the black community just doesn't accept those people. They don't accept them. But that goes back to my point. Encourages bad behavior, embraces bad behavior, rebukes those that want change that might be positive. That's black culture. That's black culture. Um, Isabel says images can be changed. We just need good ideas and self reflection. I agree. I agree. And part of that is just being willing to have the conversation in the first place. But people, they have to be people just have to be willing to accept what that conversation will involve because we have to really look at the image. We have to look at our image and what we put out, and we have to get back to a point where we understood that if we're at the bottom, then yes, we're gonna have to do more, and we're gonna have to be better and do better in order to get the same treatment. And we have to stop. We have to stop complaining about it and just start doing it because at the end of the day, we see what complaining about it has gotten us. So play the game or don't, but get out of the way of those of us that are trying to win in life. That's my thing. You know, just get out of the way. um Marie says what is the solution to the black community? I'm looking forward to another country. Shout out to the passport bros. Shout out to the passport. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously though, no, I mean that. Like I said, I personally believe in divesting. I believe in divesting, so and forming independent tribes outside of the black community. Let the black community implode on itself because as it will, and then the the new new will rise from the ashes. That's what I believe, right? So, I mean, if you got to, I'm not mad at that. I'm honestly not. Isabella, RJ spitting facts. That's the truth. She didn't say that, but yeah, that's basically what. Yeah, that's for. Because yeah, what RJ said was really big because that's where it starts. It starts where the people that actually have children, have families, actually teaching them better, and that teaching them better is gonna equip them to be able to deal with a lot of the BS that they're gonna be faced with. People don't understand that. People don't understand that. RJ says the problem is hood culture is practically has practically took over the black community, and those of us that don't subscribe to it are considered sellouts. Absolutely, absolutely, they consider you a sellout because you're not down for the cause, so to speak. That's crazy to me. Um, Maria says, I love Dr. Ben Carson. I voted for him the first time, but he dropped out. Unfortunately, I think he's too soft spoken and meek to deal with the Democrats and deep state. Yeah. Mm, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I think a lot of people are, to be honest. That's why people gravitated towards Trump so much because he's like probably like the only politician that really, or the person really that was really stirring up some real chaos. Everybody else is just talk. Uh, but yeah, I really, like I said before, I really appreciate you guys' comments and y'all input, and I'm I'm really anxious to hear what you guys are saying because I see on the poll is saying that there is hope for the black community. Well, how is there hope? And um, yeah, finna hit that 3 hour mark. But yeah, like, what else can I say? Like I said, I enjoyed you guys. I think today was a great conversation, a great start of a conversation that I want to have more of. And when that conversation is had, I'm really hoping that you guys will like stay tuned in and keep up with it because that this is how I believe that we can actually spark and affect changes through having conversations and dialogue, and controversial titles aside, at the end of the day, there are certain aspects that we have to acknowledge, and we have to acknowledge on decide on where best to spend our efforts. Where best to spend our efforts because at the end of the day, black culture, black culture, it's fair to say that it's a sinking ship. It's a sinking ship. So if we're going to say that we want to save black culture, we have to acknowledge that we're trying to save a sinking ship. But what we want to, but what we could do is, like I've been saying, is divest and separate ourselves and attempt to be a light for the people that also want to be free. It's a matrix. It's a matrix. And once you once you break free from that matrix, you enter into a world where you have to encounter things, and a lot of people they're gonna make your life hard. And I'll just I just I hope that when we have conversations like this, that maybe some way, somehow, it can spark an idea in somebody, and just really, just really, just be just because Tupac has a quote, and that quote is, "I want to spark the brain that." I'm paraphrasing his quote. Sorry, guys, but he says, "I want to spark the brain that can stimulate change, even if I can't change the world myself." And that's really what I'm trying to do here. I just want to facilitate these conversations, and I enjoy you guys' input and push back. Push back. I agree. Like, you agree or disagree. Push back. Push back. You know what I mean? But I respect everybody in here. I genuinely appreciate you guys. And I'm gonna read these comments real quick. Isabel says, Jay in chat, friends, I must say good night. It's been enlightening being here, and I'll be glad to join again. Stay well. Thank you, Isabel, for stopping through. Again, I appreciated all your comments. RJ says the solution, in my opinion, is starting small. For example, I live in a mostly black city county, and I support those that are trying to make change. I have my own circle of productive folks. I agree. That's valid. Robert Oliver, yeah, I agree with you. Divest. I agree with you. Divest. Just get out. Save yourself. We're Oscar Mike. Get to the chopper. No, I agree. That's just my opinion though. I think you should divest. RJ says that I associate with and keep around me and my family. Marie says there is no hope. There is no hope, and we have to hop off this black train that is on fire. I agree. Um, RJ says also, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to unite with African and Caribbean folks, but are they willing to unite with us? A lot of them don't respect us, or and given the culture, you know what I mean, or given how what we've shown so far, are they even willing to do that? But I mean, it's a good point. Good point. I don't believe in associating just based off of race and color. So I mean, I believe in finding tribe with like minded people, and I've noticed that if we're like minded, then I personally just want to rock with people that are like minded. And when I say like minded, it doesn't mean that you're gonna agree with everything. It just means that we have similar values and that we just things we have morals and standards as a baseline. They're like that. That's just enough for me. That's enough. Mm, Maria says, "Good. I have to go to bed as well. Good night, all. Thank you for stopping by, Maria. I appreciate you. Hope you have a great night as well." Um, Robert Oliver says at RJ, no, it's not, but many do not consider them black. Yeah, that's true too. Man, you think like think how Africans really feel about us when they know that African Americans was calling them African booty scratchers. You know what I mean? Like, just think about that. That's not, and I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm saying it like real talk. Like, American blacks don't do nothing but talk shit about black about do nothing but talk crap about these people. Why would they want to endorse them? You know what I mean? Or why would they want to embrace them? Or embrace people that but that's just me though. I don't. From what I've heard, most Africans don't really have the most positive idea of Americans outside of using them for their money. But but like when they go over there, I'm not talking about over here. Over here, you could argue that they're doing better than us, but you know what I mean. So they don't need our money. They come over. These refugees come over here. These refugees, immigrants, they come over here and then they do way better. They come over here and they do so much better, and they look down on blacks in general because they see the opportunities that we have, and then they think that we waste them, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong. But on that note, basically, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream. I just want to say I appreciate everybody for coming out. Hope you guys, just have a great night, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I can't say it enough. I can't say it enough. And just, you know, just thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. I'm J Red Unfiltered, and I'm signing out.